will have a maximum of 10 minutes to present their application, followed by any questions or comments from the committee. Then all correspondence will be read. Then others in favor will have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. Anyone objecting will then have a maximum of 5 minutes to speak. I will then ask for staff comments. Finally, the applicant will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes for rebuttal if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak should use the microphone, state their name, and direct their comments to the committee. If you are testifying as a nearby landowner, please tell us where your property is located. Tonight's hearing will be videotaped, and the tapes will become part of the record. Comments that are based on rumors, hearsay, or secondhand information, as well as racial or other prejudicial remarks, will be ruled out of order. The committee has looked at all the properties, and the recording will reflect these observations. Any person affected by any administration decision of this committee has 10 days from the filing of tonight's decision to make an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustments. Information and applicants are available from the zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of the 10-day period. I will introduce the committee. To my far left, Joe Piaski, Larry Crawford, Mike Likeness, Bob Wadle, Mark Schumacher. To my right, zoning administrator. My name is Mark Kirchner. First applicant tonight that we will hear, Ken and Cinda Anderson, Pine River, Wisconsin, have made application for a conditional use in accordance with Section 54-454 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to establish a horseboarding, training, riding facility utilizing an existing 45 by 72-foot barn and an existing outdoor riding arena in an AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an approximately 10.0 acre parcel of land known as Lot 2 of Certified Survey Map number 4067, being part of the northeast quarter of the southwest quarter, Section 24, Town 19 North, Range 12 East, Town of Leon, fire number W2750, Brown Deer Road. Is the applicant present? Would you please come forward and would you state your name for the record, please?
Ken Anderson.
Is there anything you can tell us about the what you want to do out there, Ken?
Well, basically, the primary focus of the business will be for private riding lessons. My wife is into English riding, dressage, and has done this before. Subsequent to that, we've done this in other places where we lived. And you can't just do riding lessons because there are going to be some clients that want to say, can I bring my horse in, or can I board a horse if I get a horse here? Well, that's not our business. With 10 acres, you don't have a lot of room for that kind of stuff. But we do have, want to offer that as an option. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the primary thing would be for giving private riding lessons. It is by appointment, so it's not like a business where for like a Walmart or a place where you expect a lot of people to come through, especially not knowing that they're coming. So in our case, they would call up first and make an appointment to come look at the place or to do the actual lesson.
Okay. Committee questions, please.
Will there be any outside employees beside the immediate family?
No, there isn't. There's no plan for that. I mean, again, like I said, this is too small of a property to really have a lot of stuff to that.
According to the application, this is not a high-volume business, and you do not anticipate more than a few customers a day?
Yes, that was true.
The application did say you might hold an occasional training clinic.
Correct.
Any weekend horse shows, rodeos,
No,
etc.?
no rodeos, no racing, nothing in that order.
The application says no more than 10 or 12 horses.
Correct.
Hours of operation are by appointment.
Correct.
Is there advertising signs planned?
There would be a sign that's on our, we do have an existing farm sign that's not a business sign as such. We wouldn't anticipate putting some kind of a hours or a phone number on that post. But beyond that, we don't envision having no big light, no 20-foot sign with
And how big is that existing sign?
It's about 5 feet off the ground, and that's the height of it. The sign itself is maybe a foot by 4 feet. And it's
You
off,
carry
it's off the
insurance?
road, you know, it's off the road a ways.
You carry insurance?
Yes, we do, liability insurance. And they
Application
have a
says-
waiver, and they have to have a waiver to sign. I believe I even have a copy of it here if you wish to see it.
The application says that the bathroom facilities will be in the home.
That's correct.
Any changes in the driveway?
Nope, none planned.
How far away is the nearest lot line?
To our lot, to what?
For the shortest distance?
Distance from what to the lot line?
Huh?
To what? I mean, from the lot line to what are you asking?
From your pole building and your
Okay.
outside arena.
The farm area? Sure.
Yeah, which is the closest lot line and?
Close lot
about-
line would actually be the road.
Oh, to the road,
Yeah.
where we drove in off
Yes.
of. Okay,
yes.
so then we know how far
that's
that is.
about, I'm guessing about 200 feet.
Okay, and you've got 10 acres.
We have 10 acres. Correct.
That's all I have.
Is any horse breeding?
No,
No.
no horse breeding.
And although we observed it ourselves, I have to ask, how do you dispose of the manure? We saw you with the.
With the wheelbarrow? Well, we have somebody who wanted us to put a small pile off in the corner someplace for the garden, which we did.
Okay.
They were going to do it, this, pick it up this fall, but they didn't. And that's, you know, that's way off the road. We do have arrangements with several of the adjoining property owners to be able to put the waste on their property.
But you've got 10 acres and 10 to 12 horses, that isn't going to pose a problem.
Right.
So, okay.
You aren't planning any other buildings or anything like
No,
that?
no. Not unless I get a lot of money and I expand and buy out all the neighbors' property, but no, beyond that. No.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you. Correspondence?
We have a letter from the town of Leon that was received on October 20th from Chris Sorensen, the chairman of the town of Leon. And it says, Ken Anderson from W 2750 Brown Deer Road was at our town board meeting Wednesday evening, explaining his desire for a conditional use to give horse riding lessons. The board has no objections to this. And again, that's from the Leon Town Board, Chris Sorensen, chairman. And that's all the correspondence.
Okay, there's no one in favor or objection? Staff comments?
For the record, the committee has previously been furnished with a copy of the site plan and the other pertinent data for this and all the other applications that will be considered tonight. When the committee visited the property, they noted that this is a small family-run operation in a rural setting. Visibility is good at the driveway location. And as the applicant said, this is not a high-volume type business. It's a small family-run business. We've had a number of similar proposals that have been approved in other areas of the county over the years. Everyone's a little bit different, but normally they fit in quite well with the rural area. So I have nothing further to add.
Is there anything that the applicant would like to add? Okay, thank you. Next tonight, Saxville Community Church, Saxville, Wisconsin. Thomas Roosh, landowner, has made application for a conditional use in accordance with Section 58-454, Paragraph 8 of the Waushara County Zoning Code to establish a church with proposed construction of a 60 by 100 foot building in an AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an approximate 4.91 acre parcel of land known as Lot 4 of Certified Survey Map 5819, being part of the south half of the southwest quarter of the southwest quarter, Section 9, Town 20 North, Range 12 East, Town of Saxville, intersection of County Road TT and County Road E. Is the applicant present? Yes. Would you please come forward? Would you state your name for the record, please?
Name is Rod Chapman. I'm the pastor of Saxville Community Church.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about what you plan? Or
Well, we have been a church for 2 years, and for the 2 years, we've been meeting in the Saxville Town Hall. And in order for us to really to develop into what we want to develop into, we have to buy some land and build a building. And we've been in a search for about a year, and we found this piece of property. Have an accepted offer to purchase. Had a perk test done on it as well, which perked good. And our goal is to build a building there, and in the future have some athletic fields in the back to run some athletic programs for the youth of Saxville and Leon, and et cetera.
Okay. Committee questions?
Yeah, we have a few questions. You're aware of the state building codes and all other state requirements, and will they all be met?
We'll abide by those, yes.
You're planning on a sign for the church?
We're planning on a sign. We don't know if the sign's going to go on the ground or if it'll go up in the gable end of the building. The way the building is sort of set there, we could easily set it back off that it's behind the 200-foot and put a sign up there, and that way it's sort of out of the way.
How far above the existing grade will the first floor elevation be, and how much filling and grading is going to be done out there?
We're not really anticipating a whole, we want to level it off, but we're not really anticipating, we want to do a building that is in the back, if possible. There's about a 4-foot drop-off already that we may do an exposed basement there for handicap accessibility. And then we have to have it, we want it as level as possible when we do the athletic fields.
You had the soils done, the conventional septic system was approved for that?
Yes, we had a perk test done, it passed.
Are there any other additions or buildings planned other than what you indicated on your site plan?
Not at this time. If we grow, we have to add here and there, but at this point, that's it.
Do you have any plans for a school
No.
down the line at all? You're planning on using both driveways, the one existing on Double T and the one on County Road E?
We would like to in the future. We're going to use the one on Double T for sure. It all depends on just, what the cost aspect is. The second one off of E, we're sort of, when we get the athletic fields built, that would just, help traffic go 2 different directions instead of all out one area.
Both driveways will be at least 300 feet from the intersection?
Yep.
And at least 300 feet from the next
From the
nearest
next one.
driveway? The first driveway to the north, is there one there? There's a house there, right?
There's a house, yeah. We measured that off, and it came to about 400 feet.
Main driveway you're talking about will be off County Road, or Highway Double T?
Main driveway, yes. The parking lot would come off of the Double T.
You'll need to get a uniform property address number. There's nothing out there now.
Correct.
In the recent survey, do you know exactly where the lot lines are?
In the survey, yes.
So the corners are all surveyed out of that parcel. The approval is granted. When are you planning on doing the work?
Well, approval granted, and we buy it, it's going to take another 2 or 3 years to get money to do that, because we're going to drain our fund to buy the land.
That's all.
A couple of questions and then an observation. So initially, the plan then would be when you construct a church or start doing work, that you'd use the driveway off of Double T.
Correct.
And so that would be your main access, and that's probably the access where you'd want your property address assigned off of.
Correct.
Okay, because we need to know that. And we can take care of that when you come in for the building permits. We can go through that, but just so you're aware of that. And then later on, you said then maybe you'd have the driveway off of County Highway E, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any plans for a cemetery or anything like this
No.
at this time?
No plans.
Okay. And then just based on your last comment, this would be my comment, is normally these conditional uses are good for 1 year. And then within that 1 year, you would get your building permit. Then your building permit would be good for another year, okay? But if you think that you may not start construction within that year, the committee we could either grant an extension, or if you feel comfortable, you can change that 1 year approval to say 2 years, so that you wouldn't have to come back and file for an extension. And you think that there's a possibility that there may not be construction within the first year,
Well,
possibly?
I'm pretty positive there'll be no
Okay,
construction the first
okay.
year. Unless some major donation or
Okay.
whatever. Like you said, our funds are being drained to buy
Sure,
the property.
and I understand. And that's why we can be flexible on this expiration. So the committee might want to note that if you would grant an approval, and you're comfortable with, nothing changing, and I really don't see what would change in an application like this over a period of 2 years. You could grant the permit so that they'd have 2 years to obtain your permit, and then you'd have at least another year to do construction. And even if that wouldn't work, you could still ask for an extension. So that would be at least my recommendations. And that's all the questions I have.
Okay, thank you. Correspondence?
No correspondence.
No one in favor or objecting. Staff comments, please.
When the committee visited the property, they noted that visibility is good at both driveway locations. Both driveways must meet the 300-foot spacing requirement. The pastor already talked about the visual setback and the other setbacks, so they're aware of that. There is a recent survey on file. Churches are a conditional use in the residential and agricultural zone, and certainly it's not the kind of thing that is going to detract. Actually, normally these type of things are complement a rural community. So I don't really see any problems. We know where the main driveway is going to be, and I really don't see where this would cause any concerns. And obviously, we did notify the neighbors in the township, so and we've heard nothing from them, so we can only assume they have no comment either. So.
Okay, anything else you'd like to add? Okay, thank you. Next application. Stephen C. Butler and J. Storm Warner, Algonquin, Illinois, have made application for a conditional use in accordance with Section 58-236, paragraph 18, and 58-454, paragraph 31 of the Waushare County Zoning Code to store a 1993 30-foot Salem travel trailer in an AG General Agricultural Zone. Location, an 82.17 acre parcel of land being Lot 1 of Certified Survey Map number 5103, less Certified Survey Map number 5771, being part of the southeast quarter of Section 35, Town 18 North, Range 11 East, Town of Marion, Check Drive. Is the applicant present? Would you please come forward? State your name for the record, please.
Steve Butler.
Anything you can tell the committee here, Steve?
We have the trailer on the property now, and we're actually just ignorant, unaware of the zoning thing. We figured it was just easy to leave it there and whatever. We plan on using it 6 to 10 weekends a year, and that's about it. We have it there. We plan on, it's visible only from one road, I believe, off of Check as you come down the hill. Other than that, it's set behind 2 tree lines, probably 100 yards away from the road, I believe.
Probably more visible now than in the fall, in the wintertime.
Yeah, and it would be, even with the leaves as you come down the hill, but we're planning on, as spring comes, we'll put a tree line to cover the back of it so it won't be visible from the street then.
Okay.
Other than that,
Pretty much. Committee questions, please?
Is the trailer licensed and roadworthy?
yes,
Will the trailer be at least 100 feet from the lot line?
yes,
You had a survey done in 2003, so you're sure of the lot line?
yes.
And there's no running water?
Just the storage tank, you're right. No, correct, no well or anything like that.
You'll be using a chemical toilet out there? Is the old septic abandoned?
Yes.
Are you finding any other buildings?
Eventually, we were talking pole building or something back there to store, something in, but at this point, no.
Are there any other trailers in the area?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is the new driveway needed?
We couldn't, with all the snow, we couldn't tell where the driveway was.
There really isn't a driveway, and that's kind of the problem why it's, where it's at. We don't, from the road, there is, you come in, but it's mostly just, it's grass coming into there, but we don't really have plans to,
And the driveway would be off of Check, though,
Correct.
right? Okay.
You come in west of the tree line, come down,
if you're on
you're on Check,
south,
it's south of Check.
yeah,
Which side of the ditch do you come in on
south side.
from?
Check is,
West side of the ditch, it comes around, yeah.
come
okay.
down that hill.
Yeah,
Not much of a ditch there.
right. Yeah, that's about where I figured it had to be, by just looking at the site.
Is the property in the managed forest zone?
Yeah.
Do you have a uniform property address number out there?
I don't believe so, no.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Correspondence?
We have a phone call from Gary Willako, the chairman of the town of Marion, on 12/4/2009. Gary stated the township has no objections to the conditional use for long-term storage of a travel trailer on the J. Storm Warner property in the town of Marion, and that's all the correspondence we have.
No one in favor of rejecting? Staff comments, please.
When the committee visited the property, they noted the units visible from the road. Setbacks appeared to be complied with. Visibility would appear to be good off of Check, which is where the driveway is. The old septic, the applicant said, has been abandoned. We'd have to verify that abandonment just for the record. Travel trailers, we're a highly recreational county. Travel trailers are something that a lot of people like to use, and the provision that Waushara County has, that if if you have at least 10 acres or more, and you can keep the unit at least 100 feet from the lot line, and you have adequate sanitary facilities, and you keep the licensed the trailer licensed and roadworthy with no additions or attachments, so they're truly still mobile, we can allow them on a case-by-case basis through the conditional use process. That's why we're going through the public hearing tonight. If this application is approved, part of the requirements are that we do annual inspections of these trailers to make sure that there's still adequate sanitary facilities, they're still licensed and roadworthy, and they meet all the other requirements, and as long as everything's okay, they can continue on. There's no additional permits or anything needed, but we do check them at least once a year to make sure that they're being used in conformance with the code. So, and this certainly would fit into that category. They've got quite a bit of land there. Obviously, the township doesn't have any concerns, so it would fit into that category that could be considered, and that's all I'd have to add.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to add? Okay, thank you. Okay, that concludes our applications for tonight. We'll continue on with the rest of our meeting.